Martell Holt believed he could control the narrative just by talking loud enough. But the louder he got, the more people started listening to Melody's side of the story. And whether people admit it or not, the internet never forgets, especially when it comes to messy public breakups that feel even wilder than scripted television. Fans are glued to their screens, watching every twist, wondering how a man who once had it all ended up fighting to prove he's still the hero of a story that clearly moved on without him. Sources close to the situation say Martell's biggest enemy was never Melody. It was his own pride. Instead of seeking peace, he kept trying to win arguments, which only caused more chaos. Meanwhile, Melody focused on protecting her peace and her children's happiness. Viewers noticed the change, a woman rebuilding her life brick by brick, while the man who once stood beside her tried to figure out how it all slipped away. At one point, people thought they were unstoppable, a true power couple with kids, businesses, and big dreams. But dreams don't survive without respect. And once that disappeared, everything began to crack. Through all of it, Melody stayed silent when it mattered most. She chose consistency over conflict, and somehow her silence became her loudest weapon. Now fans are calling it poetic justice. The same confidence that once made Martell look powerful now looks more like denial as Melody gains full control of her life and her children's environment while Martell struggles to prove he still deserves the trust he lost. This story, though, is far from over. Every reaction, every post, every move becomes a new chapter. Whenever Martell tried to shift blame or paint himself as the misunderstood father, the audience didn't buy it. His explanations started sounding rehearsed, like he was protecting his image, not his peace. Meanwhile, Melody just kept doing her, building, thriving, and glowing. She wasn't chasing attention. Attention was chasing her. And the more she succeeded, the more Martell seemed to miss the message sometimes. The world doesn't reward the loudest voice. It rewards the one that stays steady through the noise. Fans began comparing who walked away for clarity versus who kept running back into the fire. And that changed everything. They saw Melody as a woman who turned pain into power and Martell as a man fighting the consequences of choices he once brushed off. Whispers online started growing louder, claims, hints, red flags, suggesting Martell might still be trying to control what no longer belongs to him. And every time he posted a smile, the comments reminded him, karma may move slow, but it always arrives. While journalists and bloggers turned every update into a headline, both Melody and Martell learned the hard truth about fame. Once you become a storyline, privacy disappears. When fans pick sides, there's no middle ground left. Mistakes don't fade, they just gain more spectators. And now, with legal restrictions, sealed documents, and quiet tension filling the air, everyone's guessing what's really happening behind the scenes. So the real question is, what happens next? Is Melody right for closing the door and protecting her peace? Does Martell deserve a chance to prove he's changed, or is it too late for redemption? Because this story isn't slowing down, it's getting louder by the day. So drop your theories and predictions in the comments, because one thing's for sure: this drama is far from over. And just when everyone thought the dust might finally settle, the tension in Huntsville started heating right back up. New whispers began spreading across social media, quiet at first, but growing louder by the hour, suggesting that things behind the scenes might be even messier than anyone imagined. Screenshots, cryptic captions, and subtle shades started making their rounds, leaving fans piecing together clues like detectives on a mission. While nobody can say for sure what's real and what's speculation, one thing's clear: this story is nowhere near finished. Because every time Melody takes a step forward, something or someone from the past seems to resurface, trying to pull her back into the chaos she's already escaped. But this time, she's handling it differently, with grace, focus, and a calm that speaks louder than any argument ever could. She's not responding out of anger. She's responding with silence, boundaries, and success. And that silence, it's driving people crazy because it says everything without saying a word. Meanwhile, Martell's world seems to be spinning in a different direction. Between the court decisions, public opinion, and his own social media missteps, it's becoming clear that he's losing control of the very narrative he once tried to own. Every post, every interview, every quote gets dissected, and instead of earning sympathy, it's raising eyebrows. People are asking if Martell is truly ready to grow, or if he's still stuck replaying the same mistakes in different forms. The internet, of course, has turned it all into a spectacle. Hashtag Team Melody and hashtag Team Martell battling it out in comment sections. Blogs breaking exclusive updates every other day, and fans acting like jurors in a digital courtroom. But what many forget is that behind all this drama are real people, real children, and real emotions that can't be edited out like a TV scene. Melody has made it clear, through both action and silence, that her priority is protecting her peace and her kids, not feeding into online chaos. And that's exactly why people are rooting for her. Because in a world where everyone's shouting for attention, she's learned the art of quiet victory. No long posts, no messy back and forths, just consistent growth, undeniable success, and peace that speaks louder than any drama. And while Martell's trying to prove he's changed, it's becoming harder for fans to see that transformation when his actions still seem tied to the past. Still, this is Huntsville, and if there's one thing we've learned, it's that the story never ends where we think it will. More updates are bound to surface. More rumors will fly, and more truth will eventually come to light. Because every secret has an expiration date. And every storyline has a twist waiting just around the corner, so buckle up. Because the next chapter might just be the most shocking one yet. Will Martell finally take accountability and find redemption? Or will Melody's continue to rise? Leave him standing in the shadow of what could have been. One thing's for sure, the cameras might not be rolling, but this drama is playing out live, one headline at a time. And you already know we'll be right here breaking it all down for you as it unfolds. So stay tuned, keep your tea hot, and don't blink. Because in Huntsville, the truth always finds its way out. And just when everyone thought Huntsville might finally get a break from the chaos, the energy shifted again, like a calm before yet another storm. Rumors of new alliances, unexpected friendships, and quiet betrayals began circulating, hinting that the next phase of this story might not be about revenge at all, but revelation. Insiders say certain people who stayed silent during the height of the drama are now ready to talk. And what they have to say could completely flip the public's perception of what really went down behind closed doors. Meanwhile, Melody continues to glow in her own lane, not just surviving, but thriving. She's been showing up in spaces that celebrate her growth, brand deals, motivational speaking, new projects, all without ever needing to mention names or throw shade. Her confidence isn't loud, it's secure. That's the difference. She's walking proof that peace looks good on a woman who once had to fight just to be heard. Every time she posts a new business move or shares a genuine smile, fans flood her comments with love, calling her the blueprint for resilience. But while Melody moves forward, Martell's situation seems to keep circling the same drain. Sources claim he's frustrated, feeling like no matter what he says, the world has already made up its mind. Some close to him insist he's trying to rebuild his image, talking about growth, family, and change. But the problem is, people remember actions, not apologies. His words may sound polished, but fans are waiting to see if he can back them up. Because at this point, it's not about what he says next, it's about what he does next. And then there's the whisper that's been making its way through social media that another legal move might be on the horizon. Some claim new filings could surface, while others think this might be Martell's last real chance to redeem himself in the public eye. Whatever it is, Huntsville is paying attention. Every new document, every Instagram story, every cryptic caption, it all feels like pieces of a puzzle that fans are determined to solve through it all. One truth stands unshakable. Melody isn't the same woman she was when this story began. The tears, the betrayal, the noise, they built her strength, not her bitterness. Now every victory she earns feels like a chapter reclaimed. She's no longer proving herself to the world. She's simply living in alignment with who she's become. As for Martell, he's standing at a crossroads.